welcome all of you. We'll just take a minute of silence before we start. First, we'll invoke the Divine Supreme Being. Invoke the ocean of love today and say to yourself that I, the loveful being, a part of the ocean of love, am ready to explore this value in detail. Celebrate this month, the February month of love, by trying to inculcate this value more and more in my daily life, at work, or at home. So, welcome all of you. Good morning to people joining from India, and good afternoon for Europe, and maybe Anu's sister, good evening to you, and the others joining from the US and Canada. So, all of you know that this February month, why we celebrate this as the month of love, because a very beautiful eve comes, 14th of Feb, Valentine Day. We call it not the festival of love, but the day of love. It's named after the Saint Valentine. It's again a saint, but people in the Lokik world, I mean, try to understand it from a very different perspective. That's what the purpose of our module is today, the first half, which we are doing today, part one. We'll try to understand the different aspects of love, which actually over a period of time has faded out, because nowadays the meaning of love has really just boiled down to something just infatuation or something like similar to lust. So let me just first welcome Dr. Ashok Mehta. He is the director of the medical wing of Brahma Kumaris and the president as well. And all of you know very well that he is the medical advisor to the Janki Foundation as well. And I would request Dr. Ashok Mehta to just give a few words of blessings before we start. Over to you. Yeah, you can just unmute yourself first. Yeah.
Om Shanti, and good morning to you, Manoj Bhai and the group. I wish you had told me that I'm a most loving person. I would have enjoyed that rather than hearing that I'm so and so and so and so. I like to be introduced more as a loving person who cares, who loves, who trusts, which is very important to me. I think we are all trained to love in tradition of the Baba. Our love is, I can say it is beyond the body. We love the spirit, and the spirit has the qualities, the highest qualities of love. Giving, Dani, Mahadani, Vardani. We want to give our love to the rest of the people. For that, we have to fill up ourselves with love. And I think all our exercises of nurturing the love or giving the love should be also imbibing the love. Because if we are full of love, wherever we go, wherever we talk, wherever we see, wherever we participate, the love will come automatically. And this is what I had seen in Dadis. I tell you a small, very small anecdote. I had operated Dadi Gulzar, and I was not familiar with Baba's knowledge or anything. But I was traveling to Bangalore. And when I went there, I was told that I must go and see Dadi there, Pushpashanta, Hriday Pushpashanta. So I went to see Dadi. It was in the afternoon, it was a normal rest time, but it was a time in the conference I could get. I went to see her, and I couldn't believe, it's the amount of moment I saw her, I felt that she was full of love. She just expressed her love. But when I was leaving, she gave me a gift, and I said, Daddy, I can't take the gift. I didn't at that point of time that you have to accept anything that's given to you. But I could see that, nahi mere bhai, ye to Baba ka hai. And then she gave it to me. But it was that, what can I say, that expression of the love that I felt. And this is what I have always enjoyed in the Baba's family. The first time I came in contact with Brahma Kumaris, and we planned the global hospital. At that point, Dadi told me, I was very little involved with the GAN part of it. Dadi said, you go around the world and introduce a global hospital to the people. It was mainly, of course, encouraging us to, funding was more important. And I went almost all over, from Europe, America. There were centers were very few at that point of time. There were only 4 centers in America. So I went to Europe, America, Far East. I went to Japan, Singapore, Hong Kong, and I came back. What I realized then, the amount of love was uniform everywhere. When I went to Europe, also so much of love. In America, in Japan, in Singapore, Hong Kong. I used to feel that this is what Baba has trained people. This Gyan has given us the uniformity, at least in loving. I think the Gyan teaches us the best way of nurturing love. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mehta, for sharing this beautiful sharing from your side. So I would now like the facilitators to do a self-introduction, all of you, starting with Anu's sister, followed by Reena, and followed by Kosha.
Thank you, Dr. Manoj, brother. Thank you, Dr. Mehta. It was such a beautiful sharing through the uniformity of love in Gyan. That is what we see wherever we go in Brahma Kumaris. We are a global family. We don't feel anything different. That was so beautiful. Myself also, as you said, I don't want to be introduced as so-and-so. So this is Anu from Vancouver, Canada. Very happy to be here today with all of you to explore this very essence of life, love, the value of love. So without further delay, let's begin. Welcome, everyone. I pass it over to Reena, sister.
Thank you so much, Anuben. And I feel really, really loved right now. Loved by this beautiful family, having it right now, and loved by God. And just want to mention here that I think God's love is the essence of each one of our lives. So I'm Reena, and I'm from India, and I'm based in Delhi. And to Kosha right now.
Thank you. Om Shanti, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and to discuss one of my favorite values, which is love. My name is Kosha and I'm based from Mumbai, India. And today we're going to talk about love, like Manoj Bhai said, and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful session. So I request all of you to just be as involved as you can and do it as genuinely as possible so you can reap the benefits. So with that, I guess, should we move on to the first exercise?
Yes, please go ahead. Yeah, thank you.
So today, since we're going to be talking about love, the first exercise is to explore the meaning of love. So before we can start using the value of love, it's important to understand it and to really know what exactly is love all about. So for the first exercise, let's just sit quietly and reflect and think of that experience when you were loved by someone. So what is that feeling to really experience love? If you have your notebooks and pens with you, it will be really helpful if you can jot down whatever comes to mind so that you can really, benefit from the exercise. So let's take about 5 minutes to recall a time when you were taking care of a loved one by somebody. It could be somebody you know, your friends, your family, people you work with. It could even just be a stranger who did something, who did a loveful deed for you. So visualize such a loveful moment from your life. It could be anything since you were a child to right up to this very moment. So any one experience or more than one where you felt loved by somebody, or it was just an absolute beautiful exchange of love. Okay, so let's take about 5 minutes to maybe write down. You don't have to write down the entire experience like in a big paragraph, but even if you just write down a few sentences of what it felt like, that experience, that will be really great. So if you have any questions, do let me know. I'll also actually share some soft music while we reflect on this loveful experience. If you have any questions, please feel free to either unmute yourselves and ask me or just write it down on chat. Thank you. So in the experience that you have written down, you could also circle the words or just highlight those words that jump out to you. So whatever experience that you are thinking of or you've already jotted down, just try to figure out which words come up. For example, it could be acceptance, and I don't want to give you any more words, but any values or any specific words that jump out at you that capture the essence of this exchange. So maybe you could even take a note of that. So let's take another 1 minute to figure out what words jump out at you from your experience. Okay, so we can start sharing. So whoever's comfortable sharing the experience, we could just make a note of it. And if you want, you can unmute yourselves and talk about the words that come up for you, or you can write it down on chat. So Anuben, will you be taking down the notes?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. So we've already got quite a few replies on chat. If anyone wants to unmute themselves and talk to us, you can do that as well.
So Koshaben, you can just call out the names because there are quite almost 48 participants. So you can just pick out the names and then they can unmute. Yeah.
So Vijay Bhai has raised his hand. Yes, Vijay Bhai, would you like to just quickly tell us the words?
Om Shanti, my dear brothers and sisters. Love means power. Love means snehe. Love means sahyog. Love means success. We became Baba's children because of his unlimited love. And like our mothers love the children. So when you love somebody, you give unlimited. Thank you.
Thank you. Taran has raised his hand. Taran, would you like to share?
Om Shanti. I have the feeling of warmth and feeling of being special and making a difference. So I matter. So the words I circled was special, warmth, and needed, cared for.
Okay, needed, cared for. Lovely. These are beautiful. Thank you so much, sister, for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Hansa Ben, I think Aarti Ben has also raised their hand. Would you like to share?
Yes, Om Shanti.
Shanti.
I want to share two words, that is care and positivity.
Okay, so care and positivity. Thank you so much. Hansa Ben, would you like to share?
Yes, good morning, everyone. The first word is care, which is now sister have also shared. And the second word is giving. Om Shanti.
Okay.
Thank you.
Om Shanti. Apurva, would you like to share something? You raised your hand.
Yes, Om Shanti. I associated with two words, unconditional and strong.
Okay. So unconditional and strong.
Strong.
And also from the chat, we have a couple of other words that haven't been covered yet. Secured, no worries. So being totally out of worries. Then love means feeling good feelings. So good feelings. I think care, positivity have been covered. Support, help, peace, being open, time. So I guess that means giving time to somebody else, I assume. Unconditional, we've covered. Feeling of being special, acceptance, nurturing. So nurturing somebody or being nurtured by someone. Forgiveness, confidence. So instilling confidence is also a part of love. Feeling comfortable and safe. So feeling safe is also part of being loved. Warmth, carefree. I think carefree could come. Carefree, love can move mountains. Love means samarpanta, that means complete surrender. And vishwas, which means trust. Apnapan, that means feeling of oneness or unity. Giving, love is always paying. Trust, care, apnapan. So we've got some a beautiful collection of words here. If anyone wants to quickly add one or two more, you can just write it down on chat, or we can maybe take one more sharing if anyone wants to share something on audio. So then I think Rita Mathur has unmuted herself. Yes, Rita.
Hello.
Yes, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Love is an energy force, and it can transmit to another person without words over time. And it's a beautiful energy force which just races through and reaches people.
That's lovely. Thank you so much for adding that. We also have someone saying love is satisfaction. Dr. Ashok Mehta says unspoken words. It can be transmitted through the eyes, face, and you can feel it. Love gives meaning to life. When loved, in spite of mistakes, it will make you realize your own mistake. Acceptance, happiness, sorry, and safety. So as you saw from this exercise, we got a beautiful collection of words that came out of one word, which is love. So when we see the list, we see very different kinds of words that have come up, like from power to security to positivity to acceptance to even just surrendering. So I guess this also kind of tells us that everyone's experience of love can be different. So the way I feel love or the way I connect to the word or the experience of love might be different for me than it is for somebody else. But I think while we were talking about love, did you feel like, that love was flowing through you, like just thinking about that experience? Could you feel that? So you can just write yes on the chat if you could. So I think love is such a powerful energy, like a lot of you said, but it also reminds us that we all have an inner resource of love. And just when we connect to the energy of love, we can already feel it flowing. So it's amazing that we kind of explored the meaning of the word love. And with that, we'll move on to the next exercise, which will take us a little deeper into understanding and experiencing this value. So thank you so much for all your participation, and we've come up with a beautiful collection of words. So thank you so much. So we'll move on to the next exercise now.
Thanks a lot, Kosha sister, for being on time, though you got it a bit late, but it was perfect and lovely. When I say this word, while I was working in UK, Great Britain, for every small thing, the people over there used to say, wonderful, lovely, beautiful. So I was wondering, why are they saying that? So I think, actually, though we as Indians or Easterners, we don't show our emotions out very often, but those people, they are very vocal about their emotions. So if they like something, they just say lovely, and the way they say it, like, it's very expressive. They are very expressive otherwise also, you know what I'm saying. The people who have, it's all about double foreigners, Videshi, you all have interacted with them, you all know how they are. But it's very, when you look at Baba's children, when they come into knowledge, then they start becoming very submissive, and then they become very silent. Yahan pe tala lag jata hai. Because otherwise they speak, they are flamboyant in their expression also. So when I say lovely, I just realized that lovely word also has love in it. That's the reason it's lovely, and lovely basically means I like it. I mean, it's something which is relating, and because as Kosha is saying again and again, it is something resonating with me inside, because I have it inside of me, and I just have to explore that. So thank you all of you all for your beautiful words. Let's move on to a little bit in depth. Now, what you all have done is you all are still on the cognitive level, though Kosha Bhen told you, can you feel that? Please write on the chat box. But let's go in the feeling mode more and more. And that is the beauty of these exercises. Now, as we go in the second aspect, it's a mix of bit of cognition and bit of affect, which means thinking and emotions both. And then when Reena sister takes you into third activity, it will be more of emotional, completely in the affective mode, what we call the emotional aspect. These are terms used in psychiatry and psychology. Cognition is nothing but thinking, and affect is something to do with your emotions. So let me just share my screen and take you to another activity, which is activity part 2 for today. As you can see, this is the beautiful relationship, a mother and a child. Or may not be necessarily a mother, it could just be a caretaker, or it could be just you are holding a small kid. So it could be just anyone, but you can see when you are holding a child, what sort of level of love it is, we'll explore that. So let me just tell you what we'll be doing in the activity. I think there is a bit of disturbance all the time. If Dr. Ashok Mehta, if you can just mute yourself, we'll just see whether it's coming from your side or what. Okay, thank you. So let me go further. So you have reflected when you were loved by someone, or when you showed love to someone in the first activity. So now you have to go slightly more further in that experience and see that expression which you had done of love and which you had experienced also in the 4 dimensions. So let me just cover those 4 dimensions. So I'll just show you the dimensions first. The first one being physical. Now I'll explain you, before you move on into breakout rooms, I'll explain you that as well later, what we do in breakout rooms. So the physical aspect, basically, it means not love actually. If I would just bluntly say it, don't mind the word, it is more of lust, where you are really attracted to someone's bodily form, the physical form so much. You call that as love in the very routine, casual way, but it's not really love. It is more of lust. You know what I mean? So that's one dimension which we all have explored at some point of time in our life. Second is the psychosocial aspect. These two aspects usually go together. So as human beings, we are social animals, and we usually do things for people. We help people. You all came out with words of cooperation, acceptance, understanding. So all these are, since we are in a society, so we have to keep doing things for each other. So that is the social aspect. And when for example, when even a stranger does something for me which is out of the way, which I haven't even expected from him or her before. So what happens? It affects my psyche. That is, it affects my mind, and I feel, oh wow, that this person who doesn't even know me has done something for me. So that is another level of love, and we'll explore that level a bit later during the end of the activity. That actually stems from something called the fourth aspect, which is spiritual, which means because all of us are basically those beautiful energies and we are connected to each other. We say in Hindi, no, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that we are all one big family. Why are we one big family? Because at Brahma Kumaris, we have this beautiful teaching that intrinsically all of us are those energies, Atma. And when we interact with each other on that level, love naturally flows from all of us. So the psychosocial aspect is very closely related to that because in a society, if I'm existing, I don't know that person, but that person has done something for me. Why? Out of some love, some respect, maybe he has done something. So that is the psychosocial aspect when we are in the society. Third aspect is environmental. This is basically to show love towards nature and maybe towards even animals. It could be anything. It could be birds, like around, which is not something related to human beings, something different from human beings and related to nature as well. So if I show love for nature, I plant a tree or whatever, I water my trees daily with so much of love. So that is taking care of uh, the plants with love. And if I can just at this point of time just I don't want to go in the teaching mode, but I want to give this example here that there's a Japanese scientist called Emoto. He's a Professor Emoto. If you can type it, IMOTO in Google, he has done a lot of experiments on water. And what he showed in his experiments that when you give energy of love to water, and if you look at it through a microscope, beautiful crystals are seen. And if you just give energy of hatred, jealousy, revenge to water, the crystals just get deformed and you get a very a very bad picture of water in that if you see it under the microscope. So why I said this is same example applies that we have seen when you water your plants, a simple activity, we are taking care of the environment, but just simply putting water, and second is putting the water with a lot of care and love for the plants. So that will really make the plant survive more than just spilling water on it for the sake of giving it. So that is showing love towards environment in any other way apart from watering the plants. And last, I already covered spiritual. So spiritual is the last dimension, a very higher dimension of love. So I'm sure all of you have experienced at some point of the time in your life from childhood till now, but you didn't know what the word spiritual basically means. So spiritual love have you experienced? So I've explained you all the four aspects. So what I would want you all to do is in the next 3-4 minutes, take maybe two couple of minutes, just write down a few thoughts before I tell you what to do in the breakout rooms. So I'll just give you 2 minutes, reflect on it on these aspects. Koshaben, just give me a hands up that the music is audible.
Yes, yes, it's perfectly fine.
Thank you, thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, so welcome back. I know, I'm sorry I have given you a little bit less time, but what we'll do is we'll explore this further when we go in the breakout rooms. So I'll just show you what you have to do next. Now, when we go in the breakout rooms, these are the beautiful names. I'm not going into the names. You can just read it for yourself. Each in the group, I'll just give you a few housekeeping instructions. When you will be automatically joining the group, you will be forced by us to go into the group through the system, discuss about these four different aspects. We'll be giving you around, say, 13-14 minutes. I know it's a little bit less time, but time is always limited. And once you speak on all these aspects with your colleagues, with your co-participants, there'll be around 3 or 4 in each group. Then identify one spokesperson or one volunteer who can share. And again, we won't be able to take sharings from all of you all. So please don't feel disheartened that, oh, mera sharing nahi liya. Please don't go in that mode. We'll try to take maximum sharings as much as we can. And in your groups, discuss about these four aspects. So over to Anu, sister, if you can just lead us all into the respective rooms. Thank you.
So these are the beautiful room names. You can see which group you belong to in the breakout rooms and how much time are we giving, brother? 12
Yeah,
minutes.
12 minutes. So 12 minutes, yeah. Sorry, I was muted, yeah.
So, okay, we are ready. All of you will be flying, talk to each other, share, and see you soon.
It's slow to come, yeah, they are joining. So, okay, right. So, I hope you had a good experience. There were few rooms where we peeped in and we saw that people were not speaking to each other. So no worries, there were 2 such groups. I'm not naming them. So if I can request those people to just share their own thoughts. So I'll start with appreciative angels. So I would request appreciative angels, either Shrungeri, Shaila or Vinaya or Vijay Bhai. Who has volunteered?
Om Shanti, Manoj Bhai ji. The appreciated angels are very cooperative, so they asked me to share.
Okay, no problem. So if you can just be very specific with your answers, Vijay Bhai. So either, so we'll just show you Anu sister or Kosha Bhen, who's writing it down. Yeah. So if you can just tell us about these aspects, Vijay Bhai: physical, psychosocial, environmental, spiritual. Any
On a
of them you
physical,
can say.
Yeah, on physical level, we feel that we should have a smiling face. We should have a feeling of light on our face, so that we give a positive energy to everybody. So some friends, some brothers or sisters were saying that like hugging, like mother hugs the children. So that is only love on a physical level.
Okay, good.
On a social level.
Sorry to interrupt. We'll just take one more sharing from you, not all 4, because we have to give chance to other people also. So just take any of the other 2. You want psychosocial? Go ahead. Yeah, thanks.
I will take an environmental if you don't mind.
No problem. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Environmental, our sister Sheila Bhan and myself also particularly say how we water the flowers, you know. So if we give water with love to the flowers, flowers dance, flowers smile, and you can feel the difference, that positive energy coming back to you when you do something with love. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being brief and sweet. We move on to beautiful butterflies, Ashwini, Siddhi, and Yashika. So who is volunteering? Yeah, Siddhi, go ahead. Yeah.
Siddhi. Yeah, we had a total 4, but one was left. So we got the sharing as like physical, love yourself first. Then one sister said like athletes. In that it comes like dedication and sacrifice on the physical level. Then social, psycho.
So just a minute. Dedication and sorry, hang on. Dedication and sacrifice is not physical. It is more of a either spiritual level or psychosocial level, right? That's what you said.
Actually,
yeah.
No, actually, she gave an example of an athlete. So from athlete, we learn is like dedication towards the body or whatever. and the sacrifice. Like he sacrificed lots
Yeah.
to bring.
So that's fine. So athlete is dedicated towards his work, and also he's sacrificing a lot of time. But these are not physical aspects. So to make sure they are not physical aspects of the. Actually, they are not love actually at all. So dedication, sacrifice is something not related. It's a value in itself, but not related to physical aspect of love. We just need to correct you on that. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Yeah. Any other
That was
column?
yeah, that was shared by one of the sisters. And then it's like for spiritual, we say is like God's love is unconditional. We
Right.
love or we don't, but he never stops us loving. So that was the thing. Then Ashwini brother said like Deni ki bhavana, spreading vibration, empathy, and datapan. Okay,
That
and
so giving,
environmental.
देने की भावना and cooperation. Okay, yeah. I'm just
Yes,
trying to
yes.
help Anu sister translate करके. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and for environmental, it is like one sister said like she has done lots of plantation, and like she saw that when we do the plantation with love, that that what do you call it? The plants grows faster. Like they also show some love. So
Fine.
that was the and
Okay, thank you so
like
much. So we want, sorry, Siddhi sister, we sorry to interrupt. We won't take sharings for every aspect from each group. So so remember for the other groups also, you'll just have to do two because that everyone can get a chance to speak. So thank you so much, Siddhi sister.
Thank you.
Compassionate carers, we move on to either Apurva, Deepak, Kamal or Trikanti. So who is doing it?
Yeah, Om Shanti. This is
Yeah,
Deepak
who's
here.
Deepak? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can fill the psychosocial aspect. Sorry.
Yeah, regarding psychosocial, an experience was shared that when a person went to States in New York, he was alone. So a stranger helped him. So that can be qualified as psychosocial, I think, helping nature.
Right. Okay, good. So stranger helping, correct. That is psychosocial. Absolutely fine. Yeah.
And then the spiritual aspect is Baba's love. So he always gives us true love, and we always are satisfied. So Baba is the only supreme soul that satisfies us.
Right, right. Deepak bhai, thank you so much. So since time is short, I'm moving a bit fast. Don't mind me. Fragrant flowers, it's Avilas, Murli or Nirmal. So is Nirmal ready or who's doing it?
So fragrant flowers.
Yes.
So, yeah. So Nirmal, do you want to like share some points?
Sure, I will. Om Shanti, everyone. I just want to say a couple of things. Love is the most beautiful thing in life. It's the true roots to every soul in the world to survive, because love is the essence of a beautiful love that flows through families out into the environment and everywhere you go in the world. Without love, there is no life.
So right, Nirmal, thank you. So this sentence, I would put it in spiritual, that without love, there is no life. So that can come in psychosocial and spiritual both. So thank you so much for your sharings, Nirmal. We move on to the next group, Faithful Friends, Neelam, Nimish or LB Rai. So I don't know, this group, there was no one speaking. So maybe LB Rai wants to share. I spoke to you, LB Rai.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. What aspect you want to cover? So in either of these, what do you want to share on? Which aspect?
In environmental, I felt once you feel you are having care and affection for being part of that system, so you'll be taking care of the physical as well as the human beings environment as well.
Okay. Right. So in what way you want to take care of human beings?
By guiding, by counseling, by helping physically.
Right. So guiding and helping and counseling.
And for general environment, you will be aware and making others aware about keeping the hygienic environment and cleanliness and.
Okay, so I'll just put your guiding, helping and counseling in psychosocial because that forms a part of it. Thank you so much, brother. Yeah. So I'll
Thank
move
you,
on
brother.
to next group. Yeah. Happy Hearts. It's either Daman, Prashant, or Suman or Taran. So
Yeah,
either of, yeah, Prashant bhai, go ahead. Yeah.
I'll share with you. The aspect is psychosocial one, like going
Mhm.
to senior citizens' home and helping them voluntary. So that is one of the things.
Right.
Second is like in the same psychosocial one, like in Canada, they have a food banks, going over there and helping them. So this is also one of the aspects of love.
Yes, yes,
And
very true. So, sorry, Anu sister, you can just write down going to elderly aged homes or old age homes in psychosocial. Yeah, go ahead,
yes,
Prashant. Next, yeah.
yeah, and giving food in food banks for
Okay,
homeless people.
for homeless people. Okay, you were sharing something else, second aspect also.
In aspect is spiritual aspect, like doing a mansa seva.
Right, okay.
So
So
that is
serving
what,
through the mind.
yeah, feeling of oneness in the family. Yeah, that's all.
Mansa Seva Oneness. Thank you. Thanks for being brief. So we move on to the next group, Loving Lights. I'm happy that all of you all can share because we are moving a bit fast. So Baldave, again, this group, there were people who were silent. So maybe Jasminder and Meena Malhotra. You want to say something, Jasminder or Meena?
Yes, this is Meena here.
Yeah.
Hi. Okay, regarding physical, yeah,
Yeah, Rita, if you can
physical,
just mute yourself. Yeah, because mute yourself. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Jasminder. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you. Please
Oh,
go ahead.
great. Okay, physical is, I have put affinity. Other than lust and greed, there is affinity also. I think it's part of physical love.
Beautiful word. I love the word affinity, similar to infatuation. Very good.
Thank
Anything
you.
else? Yeah. Any
Yes,
other?
and for psychosocial, love for humanity as a
Right.
whole. For environmental, that is, yes, environmental, loving the whole cosmos and cosmic energy. This is and loving, love. One moment.
Okay, fine.
Yes, nature, which I think already has been covered.
Yeah.
For example, you sing music, songs to the, I've noticed as my personal experience that, you sing to the plants, flowers, and they blossom, and they just, they dance with you.
Right.
So it's such a beautiful experience. And
Great.
for the spiritual, love is the only way to reach God.
Right. Very good. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much. So we move on to now a mighty mind. So we have Dr. Mehta, Dr. Sunita Lodaya, Mohinder, and Rachna. So who is leading?
Om Shanti, brother.
Yeah,
My
go
name
ahead,
is
Rachna.
Rachna.
Yeah.
Okay. At the in my group, everyone was very fortunate to have experienced the feeling of love in abundance, and at the physical level, as everyone expressed, we felt that when we are being loved by someone, there is selfless, tireless dedication, and the other person puts your needs first before his own needs. So there is a lot of selflessness, tirelessness, dedication for the other person. At the environmental level, I'd like to say that we get a lot from the nature, and nature is very beautiful, and we wonder at the magical functioning of the various elements of nature, and we admire that, and we feel more responsible because our existence, it helps us in our existence, so we are more responsible towards it, as in at the level of conserving
Fine.
and
So thank you, Rachna sister. I won't take other sharings from you because we have to take from others. But thank you, beautiful in psychosocial and environmental what you shared. Thanks. We'll move on to peaceful parrots. I think it's Rebecca or Atri Roy. So either of you has volunteered. Okay. So in the meantime, you all are preparing. I'll just go on to Ruhani Roses. So there we have Francis, Hansa, Rita. Yeah, who's that? speak up, please.
Oh, sorry, I was speaking with my mic. Would you like to move on? This is Rebecca.
No, that's fine, Rebecca. Go ahead.
Okay, sure about that. You bet.
Yeah.
Okay, for environmental, we have enjoying and appreciation of nature and all of the 5 elements. For spiritual, the experience of brotherhood, and also the experience of being bigger than I am in my form. And and physical could be a gesture like mowing somebody's lawn or sweeping somebody's sidewalk.
Right. So some gesture and physical. Thank you so
That's
much.
right. Okay.
Brief and sweet. Thanks. We move on to Ruhani Roses, Francis, Hansa, Rita, and Vidhi.
Hello, I'm Rita.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rita.
Yeah. So when we spoke about spiritual, we spoke about pureness, brotherhood, protected feeling. We spoke at length about guidance that we get from Shivji. We also spoke about the psychosocial warmth, self-respect, companionship, but we also spoke about COVID and how grateful we are that COVID has allowed all these sessions going on online. So we have really grown in ourselves with all this satsang, what we could call. Right. This is this was our basic things when we spoke about it. Thank you.
Fine. Thank you so much, Rita. Sister, I'll feel very guilty if I don't allow the last person to share from Truthful Teams. Because as the last group remaining, Swati and Anuradha, either of you all, a last quick sharing. Anuradha or Swati? Okay. If there is no one responding, yeah, Swati, go ahead. Yeah.
So I think for the physical and I don't know in psychosocial, if we are truly love something, we are grateful for it. So the habit of having a gratitude towards people or yourself, that is something one can do. And again, in spirituality, one can express the gratitude towards God that He had given us the foundation, that whatever souls needs, we actually get it from the God.
Right. Great. Thank you so much. So beautiful sharings. You know, that's what we like about these workshops. You'll just fill up the entire sheet. Thanks, Anu sister, for writing it down because it was too fast. Sorry for that. So environmental, I'll just read affection for the nature, care for nature. Beautiful. Someone said magical functioning of all different elements, all the 5 elements of nature, na? Jo hai, earth, water, air, all those. So magical functioning of them, it's environmental love. A lot of things came into psychosocial. I was very surprised to see a lot of physical aspects of love as well, like various gestures, as someone said, lawn cutting, having a smiling face, hugging, having a light feeling on the face. That's physical. Spiritual, it's unending. There are many, many aspects of spiritual love. We'll be covering that in the next activity as well. So thanks once again, all of you, for being with me through the hurried sharing. So I now move on to Reena Behen, Reena sister, for the next activity. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Manoj Bhai. And we have on this next exercise, and we have, reflected so much on love today. I think we all are diving into love right now, isn't it? So in this exercise, may I request Anuben to please show the PPT screen. So in this exercise, we would be reflecting more on 2 aspects of love out of these 4, what we discussed just now. That is physical love and spiritual love. Okay. And we all have, experienced love at physical level as well in so many relationships we have. And we also have experienced love at the spiritual realm, especially with God or especially with ourselves. So I request all of you to take a few moments and you have to reflect, and there will be a very silent music playing on in the background. You can take 5 minutes and you have to reflect, especially now this is the most important part of this exercise. You have to reflect on the emotions which are associated with physical love. First reflection. Second reflection is you have to reflect on the emotions which are associated specifically with spiritual love. So these are the 2 reflections you have to dive deep on in this coming exercise, and take 5 minutes And then you must be having your pen and paper. You can write down the differences between the two. I repeat again, we talked about physical and spiritual love at a superficial level, at at the example level in the previous exercise. But in this exercise, we are specifically thinking upon the emotions associated with the both. So you have to write down the emotions which are associated with physical love and the spiritual love. So, and now this is the time starting for all of you to do the silent reflection. So we can have the relaxing music in the background, and you can take full 5 minutes to start reflecting on this. If you have any questions, you can write in the chat box or you can unmute and ask. Okay, so thank you so much to everyone. You have been reflecting so nicely. Instead of being so far, I can feel the vibrations. So we'll do the sharing now. I request Kosha to please, take on the sharing. So again, I repeat, when I ask you to share, to please be specific and only talk about the emotions which are associated with physical and spiritual love. So we would request someone who have not shared so far to share, because those who have shared before, they can share a little later. So anyone, you can please raise your hands who want to share.
So Dr.
And
Sunita
Kosha,
is
meanwhile,
raised.
you can take some sharing from the chat box. In the physical, you can write sensual and passionate. This is what I read in the chat box. So Dr. Sunita, you would like to share anything? Dr. Sunita Lodaya? And then I can request Francis to share after that.
Hello.
Sunita Ben, would you like to say something?
Can you hear me?
So
Hello?
in physical, we have some more like expectations and sadness, jealousy, greed, hurt, demand. So too many. Yes, Sunita Ben?
Hello, can you hear me?
You can unmute and speak.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you,
Yeah,
Sunita.
yeah, I
Go
have
ahead.
unmuted.
I cannot hear you, Dr. Sunita. You can
Yeah.
unmute and speak.
No,
Yeah,
we
I
can
have
hear
unmuted.
Sunita. We
Hello.
can hear Sunita Behan. Go ahead, we can hear you.
Hello, Om Shanti.
Yes, yes.
Spiritual love, I will first talk about spiritual love. I feel in spiritual love bond will be very strong, trustworthy. There is no need to prove anything. It is continuously always flowing, the love, and you will always be continuously connected with that love. It will be pure love. It will be unconditional love. There will not be any expectations, and you will always feel good. That blissful feeling will be there. You will be enjoying, satisfying, and that will be forever. And it always be supportive. It will be giving you confidence building. It will be caring, and you will feel there is always helping hand around you, and you will be connected not from the you will be connected from the mind and heart level. So it will be automatically continually flowing. There will not be external any force. It will be effortless, spontaneously. It will be enriching, and you will be feeling continuously some energy will be there in the background. I feel this is the spiritual love. And physical love, in physical love, all this will be there, but it will be temporary. It will be lasting for only for some time. There will be expectations in everything. So I think spiritual love is much more superior and elevated than the physical love.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sunita. So Koshaben, Richa Mathur says that physical love is having attachment associated with that, and spiritual love is having the emotion of detachment. Okay, so that's great. That's short and sweet. So I would be speaking up from the chat box as well. So physical love is conditional. Yeah, mixed condition. You can keep on writing from the chat box as well, Koshaben. And in spiritual love, we have no expectations. That is without expectation. Physical love is in abundance. In abundance. Okay. So anyone who would like to share? Anyone who have raised your hand? Who would like to share?
Hi. Hi, this is
Yes,
Reshmi. Yeah. Hi, this is Reshmi. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So I think when we call it physical love, then we put the level that my father, my mother, my child, my husband, my boss, the household help. And that is how the emotion comes, because once we identify it as a physical love, then the emotion is definitely out of expectation or some attachment. Okay, he's my father, so he has to behave like that, so he has to respond like that, my mother should do this for me. So this all such kind of expectations that comes upon leveling that out of a physical love. And I think that what we have come to know, or what we have learned from this knowledge, the spiritual love is more natural and more flowing. So no matter it is my boss, it is my parents, it is my husband, my child, so for everyone few things are common, like giving respect, listening without judgment, understanding their perspective and accepting them gracefully. So that is, I think, the two different aspect of physical and spiritual love. Thank you.
Oh,
Om Shanti.
thank you so much, Reshmi. And Francis, okay. So Francis is writing that there is possessiveness in the physical love. Okay. So this is one new thing we are reading, this possessiveness. You can write kosha in the physical love. And spiritual love is more inclusive, more acceptance is involved in spiritual love, inclusive and acceptance. So Rebecca, would you like to share? Or anyone who can raise your hand apart from the people who have not shared before? That's why I'm giving chance to the
I
people.
share it. Physical love मेन है. फिजिकल लव जो होता है सिर्फ स्वार्थ के लिए ही होता है, ठीक है, उसमें कंडीशंस अप्लाई होती हैं. बट स्पिरिचुअल लव में कोई स्वार्थ नहीं है. हम हमेशा थैंक्स करते हैं गॉड का कि ये ज्ञान भी हमें मिला जिसमें हम अपने बारे में भी सोचते हैं और दूसरों के बारे में.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Neelam ji. So anyone else would like to share? So Hansa Ben is saying spiritual love opens our eye and touches our heart. So spiritual love opens our eye and touches our heart. Okay, that's a wonderful thing. And physical love is materialistic. If you have not written, you can write. So I'm just reading a few responses from the chat as well right now.
Sure.
Physical love is materialistic. Spiritual is eternal joy. If you have not written, you can write. And there are no bondages and there is no limits in the spiritual love. No bondage and no limits in the spiritual love. So anyone can also raise hand if you want to speak further. And then when I finish sharing from the chat, so realization is more in spiritual love. That's a wonderful sharing I'm seeing from the chat box. So realization, yeah. And
Om Shanti,
meaningful.
Didi ji.
एक
Can
मिनट
I?
विजय भाई एक मिनट बस. Thank you, विजय भाई.
Thank you, Didi.
Okay, ji. And warmth and carefree. Spiritual love is warm and very carefree. Because if I'm seeing the responses in the chat, almost everyone has shared in the chat. So Vijay Bhai will give you a chance in the next exercise. We are right now giving chance to people who are not shared before. So spiritual love, we have a lot of belongingness. Belongingness is also there. I can read from there. Okay.
Didi, I want to share something beautiful.
Okay, just a minute, Vijay Bhai. Just a minute. So love also means patience, isn't it? Okay. So spiritual love is related to self. Spiritual love is related to self. Okay. That's great. And the last sharing is physical love has more self-serving motivation. There is some level of personal benefit. So physical love, we have personal benefit. And physical love and spiritual love is related to service. Spiritual love is related to service. Okay. I think we have got a wonderful sharing. So Vijay Bhai, I request you to please be very, very short in your sharing. ठीक है? बहुत short में बताइए. Yes.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Didi ji. Love means to give sukh, shanti and happiness. So both at physical and spiritual level, we would like to give sukh, shanti to everybody. So physically, मस्तक पर आत्मिक स्मृति का तिलक, नैनों में रूहानियत और मुख में मुस्कुराहट, ये फिजिकल लेवल में सुख शांति देंगे. और स्पिरिचुअल लेवल में संकल्प, मनसा सेवा, सबका कल्याण हो, नाम शान त्याग का परोपकारी बन.
Thank you, Vijay Bhai. Thank you. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. And now we can wind up, and we have so beautiful emotions there in the physical love and as well as spiritual love. So I think with this exercise, we understood very, very deeply, very, very deeply and at the subtle level, the differences between the physical love and the spiritual love. Spiritual love is trustworthy. Spiritual love is pure, blissful. It is superior. It is elevated. It is unconditional. No expectations. It is just so natural and flowing, more inclusive, it is more accepting, it is associated with happiness, belongingness, and related to service. Whereas physical love is, sometimes can be selfish and conditional and materialistic and associated with attachment and expectations. So this is so nice. We have understood the differences between the both. So thank you so much, Kosha Ben, for enumerating all these responses so promptly here. And it is such a wonderful sharing we have right now. So thank you all for this sharing. And now we can move on to our next exercise. Anu Ben, you can take over.
Thank you, Rina Ben. That was really very beautiful, very deep. How we are going deeper and deeper, and definitely love is even more deep, right? We can't reach to that total understanding, but yeah, we have 2 more exercises. Before that, I want to announce whoever have joined first time today, kindly leave your email ID and phone number on the chat box. Our sister Swati and Vidhi are taking notes so that you can receive the upcoming sessions information. So if you are wanting to receive, then kindly leave your contacts in the chat box. Thank you. Oh, that was so beautiful sharing so far. The next one is a creativity exercise, sources of truth, that is spiritual love. But however, I think I'll just take a minute or two just to bring our attention to true love. Of course, we have been churning and we have such beautiful sharings. We are all spiritual, so we understand. The true love, when we look at the word true love, first point, truth. Truth is something that never changes. That's what we say at Brahma Kumari's truth. Truth that doesn't change for circumstance, for people, for anything. So, do our love change for people? Then it is not true love. And as we just saw, that means it is dependent on that physical presence, which includes everything, the look, the gestures, the behavior. We look at all those, and also materialistic achievements, everything. And when those are the basis of love, it's not a true love, because that will fluctuate. My love will fluctuate too. So that brings all kind of that we saw in the physical aspect, the dependency. That physical aspect brings insecurity, lack of trust, and all other things, expectations, possessiveness. So these are not true love. And that's where we say, will love work? Actually, no. So truth doesn't change. Second point about true love. Love is something that is nurturing, that creates, that enables something to grow, like the plant grows. So in this, again, all the expectations with that we tie up the other people in the name of love, and we don't really become the source of teaching right thing to them. So I can just quickly take the example of a mother and child. When the mother has expectations of certain way for the child, is it a true love? I'm tying up my child from expressing himself to his own potential. So we have to look at that. Am I my love nurturing? And the third point is connected with the spiritual. Spiritual means when we are aware of ourselves as spirit, when the word love comes, it's never at, am I receiving love? It's always, am I giving love? So it is about me giving love to others. So in this, actually, I want to share one example, one analogy that Sister Meera from Malaysia one time shared with us in the parents' retreat. That parent means facilitator. So we are all facilitating the sessions here. I wanted to say parents means facilitator with a gentle presence. I'm approachable, yet I'm not imposing. So that's very beautiful. We have to look at like true love in that sense. And having said all that, what is that we will do in this exercise is that I want you to reflect on the sources of spiritual love for yourself in your life. So here, of course, we all will jump to divine. That's the next exercise, and that is the main source we know. But let's look at those relationships. They exist in physicality, but we have to experience that pure love, true love, where you don't long for them. Love is there, means love is there. So we have so many relationships where we experience spiritual love. And one example I'll give is teacher and student. We don't get attached or any expectations from teacher, but teacher teaches us, that stays with us for life. And our gratitude and love for teacher never changes. So find out the spiritual love, the sources in your life. And what is that we will ask you to do, however, I hope you are spontaneous and caught already at least one, the source of spiritual love in your life. That's very important, that you have experienced, that you don't have to say any value for them, but you will come into creativity and create whichever way you can express or represent that source of spiritual love. That means a lot for you in your life. So for that, you can create collage or painting, creative design, write a poem, like one-liner, two-liners that we can hear from you. A song you can sing, a dance, if somebody is really excited to do that, inspired to do that, you can do so, or anything else, any creativity. Depict the true sources of spiritual love. Examples, parents, teachers, friends, gurus, spiritual leaders. I hope it is clear. We want to see and hear your creative expression of the source of spiritual love. So we'll take about 3 to 4 minutes. Quick time crunch is there. I'm sure that's good enough for us. So I'll put some music. Enjoy expressing our true spiritual source in relationship. That's divine, I would say, if you can.
Ini sana siapa dia?
Okay, we'll just take maybe another half a minute. I hope you all have it ready. Okay, so this is the creativity we all are waiting to hear or like listen to you or anything. You have drawn something you want to show on the screen. I don't know, these are the old raised hands. Maybe whoever wants to share, you can raise your hand. I hope you have created. There are so many sources of spiritual love, true love. We'll start with Rebecca. Yes, Rebecca, you can share with us, please. You can unmute yourself. You want to say something? There you go. You can't unmute yourself. Hold on. So you can unmute yourself now. You want to say quickly, what is it? You can unmute yourself, please.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. I can do it now. All right, this is my Valentine's card for Baba. All of the butterflies, all the transformations, and then just being in the loving embrace of Baba.
Can you show it nicely on the screen? I'll take a picture. Wow, beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, Rebecca, sorry, just to know which country are you from?
I'm in Victoria, Canada.
Okay, BBC itself. Okay, Canada, Victoria. Thank you.
Rebecca, I couldn't see it. Once again, I'll just request. So you have done so beautifully and so in detail. Perfect. I got it. Thank you so much. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else? Mohinder sister, have you written a song? Anyone else? Nobody is inspired to share? Only 2 raised hands.
Vijay Bhai wants to share something creative, not by speech, something creative, as you said, Vijay Bhai.
Yes, Om Shanti. Thank you, Manoj Bhai ji. जैसा मैंने चैट में लिखा है, मुझे गाना बिल्कुल नहीं आता. My voice is not good, but with love for my parents, for my teachers, for my God, I sing one line. तुम्हें पाके हम जहां पा लिया है, जमी तो जमी आसमां पा लिया है. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Vijay.
Thank you. Tali to bajao. I don't know how to do a virtual thing, but
Oh, you can do virtual too.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I think Mohinder sister is ready. We would like to hear from you.
So is this few line or?
No, only one line. You have a half a minute. Sorry.
I can half line. I can say मशायर तो नहीं मगर है हंसी जब से देखा मैंने तुझको मुझको शायरी आ गई.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mohinder sister. Anyone else? Nobody has written any song, any poem, any other painting? Sunita.
Hello.
Sunita. Who is it?
Hello.
Is it? Okay.
This is
Sunita, go
Meena.
ahead. Okay, Meena. Okay, then let's hear it from Meena, then Sunita, then Rachita.
Okay, Ji. Yeah. So, I'm reminded of, from Gurbani, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, he has said, Saach kahun sun leho sab hai, jin prem kiyo tin hi prab payo. Which means, I tell the truth Listen, everyone, only those who have loved will realize the God.
Beautiful. Thank you, Meena sister.
Thank you.
Yes, Sunita, can we hear from you? Can we see from you? You can open up your video. You want to show anything?
I feel spiritual love source is only God, Paramatma. He is only source of love. And for him, I think the poem which comes in my mind is "तू प्यार का सागर है, तेरी एक बूंद के प्यासे हम."
Beautiful.
Excellent.
Thank
Do you want to sing it? Sunita, you want to hum it? No.
No.
Yes, you
Thank
can
you.
sing. Anybody who loves God can do impossible possible, right? So Sunita, you can hum. You can't say no.
So let's all join hands to just sing this line and cheer up Sunita. Chalo, sabhi gao. All of you can unmute and sing. Reshmi also wants to sing. Bolo. Start,
प्यार
Sunita.
का सागर है, तू प्यार का सागर है, तेरी एक बूंद के प्यासे एक बूंद के प्यासे हम प्यार का सागर
So beautiful. Thank you very much.
Okay, Anu sister, BK Atri Roy wants to share a collage and Rashmi also wants to showcase.
Okay,
So
hold
both
on.
of them, give them a chance.
Take Manoj brother, आपको थोड़ा patience रखना होगा आज, right? We'll take just sharing, okay? 2-3 minutes. I think Rachna, Rashmi. Again, I also want to hear from Dr. Mehta. So Rachna, very quickly.
Yes, sister. Om Shanti, as Baba calls his children Ruhani Gulab. And I'd just like to say a few lines on the king of the flower, that is rose. This is the rose, it's red, its color rich and rare, its beauty beyond compare, ever the same, yet always new, so much like love, so much like what Baba wants us to be. Thank you.
Wow. Wonderful. Very beautiful, Rachna sister. Thank you so much. Very beautiful. Okay, let's move to Rashmi. Rashmi?
Hi, I have just created this card for Baba right now. And I have just written behind that truth is God and God is the truth. I just want to sing 2 lines. आँखों के सामने हो ना हो, मेरे दिल के बाबा पास हो, मेरे संग संग रहते सदा, देते एहसास हो. आँखों के सामने हो ना हो, मेरे दिल के बाबा पास हो, मेरे संग संग रहते सदा, देते एहसास हो. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're a beautiful singer. This is my favorite song too. Beautiful. Thank you, Rashmi sister. Ashwani, brother Ashwani, we can hear from you.
शांति दीदी, एक गीत है बाबा का सुरेश वाडकर जी की आवाज में. खिला है मन का चमन हमारे, मिला है बामालिया पुसा. बहुत सुंदर गीत है. Thank you.
Very nice, beautiful. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Mehta, can we request you to add something on this one?
And Atri Roy, BK Atri Roy, be ready after this because he's,
Okay.
you have just disregarded him. That's the reason I'm saying that.
No,
Thanks.
sorry. Thank you, Dr. Manoj. Bye.
I want to ask you something.
Yes.
Can I share it from phone's gallery?
Yes, you can share. Yeah, you can share. But you just have to sort out the technical, how you have to do that. You can share, no problem.
I think she has to need the sharing ability. I'll look at it, Atri. Let's hear. Yes, Ashwani brother. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I have to remove from.
Anubhav, you asked me to say something.
Yes, Dr. Mehta.
My first spiritual master, when I was in school, was Mahatma Gandhi. And I wrote a line or two about him. Oh, reality of my body, I have strength of conviction of truth and non-violence. Okay.
Very beautiful. True, Mahatma Gandhi. Yeah, that's another side of true love, selflessness, but also to bring benefit to the nation, to others. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Dr. Mehta. Sita,
are you ready? VK Atri Roy, are you ready?
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you hear us? Atri Bhai?
Yes.
Bhai or Behan, sorry.
Behan. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Atri Behan, yeah.
So I can't share it.
Okay,
so
hold on.
I want to sing 2 lines for Baba.
Sure.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Yeah.
Hold on. We can make her share. Do you want to share something? What is that you want to share, Atri?
Yes, please say again.
You wanted to share screen?
Yes.
So you can do it now, quickly.
Okay.
Do you know
Atri,
how to?
Atri sister, you have to put your video on first for that. Your video is off. Put your video on.
Okay, I have some problems, so
okay, no
I
worries.
can
Go
sing.
ahead.
Can
Okay,
I
you
sing?
can just sing. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. बाबा तुम कितने अच्छे हो, बाबा तुम कितने प्यारे हो, सच कह रहे हैं एक तुम ही अपनी आँखियों के तारे हो, बाबा तुम कितने अच्छे हो.
Okay, thank you, Atri. Thank you so much, sister. Sita and Hansa, if you have half a minute sharing, love to have it. So Sita, are you ready? Maybe not. So, okay, Hansa, please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, I would like to sing 2 lines. May I?
Yes, go ahead. Would you like to open your video if you like?
Okay, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm going ahead. No, I'm on. प्यार को हो जाने दो, प्यार में खो जाने दो, एतबार किसका है, इंतजार किसका है, अभी ना हुआ तो फिर कभी नहीं कभी, प्यार को हो जाने दो.
Beautiful. Thank you, Hansa, sister.
Sorry to interrupt, Anu, sister.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I think she's.
Thank you, Hansa, sister.
Thank you,
Yes. Manoj bhai.
Usha you said that Apurva has created a music piece. She created on piano, so you can quickly share that, and probably that will be the last
That's
sharing.
the last one. Yeah. Great. Thank you so much, Kosha, sister. Thank you. That was great. Siddhi sister says, thank you so much, the entire team, for allowing me to celebrate Valentine's Day today with my Valentine Shiva. That's so amazing, the love that's flowing here. I would like to request everyone to send your art or poem that you have created new to our email so that we can create that summary and send to you. hope you all have our email ID that you can write to is vihastindia@gmail.com. Okay, we request you to send your art that you have created. We can't take everyone's sharings, but yes, Sita sister, you are now here, but anything you have very quickly to share?
Yeah, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Go ahead, sister.
Om Shanti Baba. We take bath daily in the morning, but Shiva Baba make us bathing our soul in the Amritavela morning. Okay, thank you.
That's so sweet. True. Thank you. Thank you, Sita.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Ashwani brother has written Khila hai man ka chaman hamare, mila hai mali aapsa. Another time we'll listen to you singing, brother. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. We all are experiencing that love. Love is the life. Every moment is love. Like love is not only relationship. Every moment of life we love. So we cannot exist without love. So thank you everyone for sharing so generously. And now I pass it over to Dr. Manoj. Thank you, Manoj.
Thank you, Anu sister. Thank you, all of y'all. You know, we have been very, very successful, I must say, that we have got, when we started the emotions exercise, as the inner sister started the emotions between physical and spiritual love, तभी मुझे पता चला that लोगों के emotions आ रहे हैं. And then Anu sister तो आपको एकदम ऐसे जैसे सागर में ले गए. You're sort of now in the waves of all the love, right? And it was just the first person, Sunita, Dr. Sunita from Haveri. She started singing and all of you then just added to that. So thank you so much. You know, this is the beauty of not cognition, the emotional, the affect aspect. You know, the emotions, when they come out, no, we lose all our inhibitions and we just sort of do what we like. So beautiful. Thank you for all your singings and poetry and everything. Thanks to all of you all genuinely from the heart. So now let me just go ahead and add to this emotional aspect. We have vocally sung. So it is coming from the, we say the mouth apparatus, the mouth actually. But now let us go and do the singing of the mind, and that is basically meditation. So let us, all of us, we are already in this mode now, a lot of love for Baba, and Baba also says, God says that in the subject of love, you are full pass, all of you are 100%. So there you can see all of you are 100%. So let us just move on to this meditative exercise. But before I go, I'll just share the screen and take a small recap of what we have done so far. Hope you can see that. Yes, so we started with the first activity. Kosha sister took you into what is the meaning of love. Again, it was more on the thought level, and we came out with different words related to love. Then I took you all into the mode of exploring the different levels of love. If you know very well, it was physical, psychosocial, environmental, and spiritual. Then the next activity was the emotions. Reena sister took you into this, trying to explore the differences between physical and spiritual love, and you really went into that in the depth. And finally, Anu sister took you into the exercise of creativity. You all creatively expressed yourself in many ways, knowing that the source of true love indeed is spiritual love, and that is nothing else but God, divine, whatever name you want to call it. We call it Pyar Se Baba. So there you are. So now let's move on to the next activity. It's a meditative activity. So I would just request all of you all to now drop your pens, papers, nothing much to do, no activity with the hand. It's all the activity of the mind only now. And just feel free, relaxed fully, and go with the commentary which I'll be doing with you in the next around say 10 minutes or so. And enjoy that experience of love with the divine. We'll start. Take a deep breath and relax. Sit comfortably, your spine straight, and relax your body. Relax. Become aware of your feet on the ground and feel the connection to the earth. And allow all the muscles of the body to relax. Relax your body. Relax. Allow all the tension to dissolve and move down into the ground. Let the muscles of your arms feel calm and relaxed. Then your legs also are getting relaxed. Now gradually focus your attention on your breathing. And let your breathing find its own calm rhythm. Feel the breath coming in and going out. So as you breathe in peace. And as you breathe out any negative emotions or feelings which you are holding on to. Gently breathe in peacefulness and calmness. And now your body and mind both are relaxed. So watch your mind. Try to see the thoughts arising in your mind, but do not judge them as good or bad. They are just thoughts. Acknowledge them and let go. They are like clouds in the sky that you can watch drifting by. जैसे आकाश में बादल धीरे धीरे बिखरते रहते हैं. So watch your thoughts as clouds. And as the clouds disperse, deep beneath is the extremely clear blue sky. And feel that deep calmness of the blue sky. Visualize that blue sky. And feel the vastness of it. And now focus on your inner calm. As you have the outside blue sky, which is so vast and expansive, in a similar manner, there is something deep inside me which is also equally vast and expansive. And what is that? That is my inner being, my inner core, my inner resource, excuse me, which is full of all the inner virtues of what I am made of. So vast inside me, the inner love, the true love, which just exudes out and flows out from me. And if I look at this expanse of love inside me, I find myself to be so patient, so tolerant, generous, and understanding. And all these qualities are indeed my original identity. But all of them underpin the basic virtue of love. Who am I? Who I am? I am this loveful being. Experience this deep feeling of spiritual love. Feel it inside you. And now see it to be focused as a point of light. Now visualize that point of light, that eternal being you are. Raise your awareness beyond the self this physical self to a place of infinite peace. See that place of infinite peace first as a small point of light. And as you move towards the point of light, it becomes more and more brighter. It is like an ocean of peace, a space of calm, a space of love, a space of compassion. And you feel so very well connected to that light, which is the ocean of love as well. And visualize this entire ocean of love engulfing you, surrounding you fully like a cloak, like a coat. This energy in the form of a coat filling you up, protecting you, and absorbing every part of you with the comfortable warmth. What a beautiful feeling that is. I, the point of light, surrounded by another loveful point of light, which is so and so comfortable. So rest in this feeling of being loved. It is like an energy, like a vibration, like an eternal light filling me up to such an extent that I start overflowing. So visualize yourself that you are so filled with love that you are overflowing and spreading out the radiations of love in the atmosphere. And now very gradually move away from this ocean. You still are the point of light, and now you still have the memory of being loved and can reconnect with that ocean anytime you wish to. But you still carry on those beautiful memories of the ocean protecting you, guiding you, filling you. And now, in your own time, gradually become aware of your body, the physical being. Deepen your breathing, take a deep breath, and open your eyes. So I'm sure all of you have immersed yourself in this ocean of love. And it was a beautiful meditative experience which all of us had. Basically, it's the connection with the divine which makes it really so beautiful. Okay, so thank you all of you all. And I think all of you all have to just, if you all don't mind, you all can just switch on your videos now as well. And the last few minutes, it's already past 12. I'll just share the screen and make a few announcements of further what we're supposed to do for the next. So we have love coming up in the part 2. It will be the same Zoom ID and passcode, but we'll keep you posted on the group's WhatsApp and email. It will be on 20th February after Valentine's Day, same time. I think, Anu sister, someone's music is going on. I don't know where it is coming from. Anyway, so
so it's the same time, by the way, for Vancouver people too. Please note.
Yeah, okay. So remember, we have we are having this Values for Life series, and this love workshop which we did today it's a part of, and it's a continuation of love, which we are going to have the episode on 14th February, the Valentine Day itself, by Brother Ken, who is the Latin American Brahma Kumaris coordinator. And if you need any other information, it's available on our website, www.vihasa.in, and our email is vihasaindia@gmail.com. Again, a gentle reminder, if there are quite a few new people who have joined today. We have got a few entries, but I would encourage, if you have forgot, kindly just mention your phone number and whichever country you are from with that code, and also your email address, that we can keep in touch with you and keep you posted for the various events. So I'll just stop sharing. So I request all of you all to just open your video cameras, and Anu sister will just take a small group photograph.
This is our best ritual. So let's see the love shining through your smiles and we capture the moment. Thank you, everyone. Hansa and Ita. That's only one person missing. Okay. Very good. Okay. Ready? 1, 2. Let's remember, think of our Valentine, Shiv Baba, shining upon us. Here you go. 1, 2, and 3. Again. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you very much. Very beautiful. So if you haven't shared your contacts, please do so, or write to us. You have our email ID. And keep sparkling, not only for February, not only today, but always, forever, with love. And let's share love with the world. And we'll see you on 28th. We'll see you on 14th, as well as February. We are doing few sessions. And it's great. People joined from Philippines, from Vancouver, from Toronto. It's amazing. So, okay, unless anyone wants to sing, nobody wants to leave. I can see that.
Okay, thank you. So we'll just
take care. Have a great day in India, and good night in Vancouver. Om Shanti. And Rebecca too. I think you're in the middle. You are from, Rebecca?
Victoria.
Oh yes, I see.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Victoria.
And I'm on your WhatsApp, so I know that you'll fill me in.
Okay, so you receive our information.
I
there
did,
you go.
yeah.
Perfect. Okay, then we'll close here. Take care all. Om Shanti.